Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. This is Sassy Love Tarot. In today's reading, we're going to be doing something very different. This is going to be a reading about channeled letters from your soulmate or twin flame, whichever way you feel more resonated to. You can just call them your person as well if you feel called to do that. This is actually from one of the suggestions left in the comment section of another video of mine that I recently uploaded. So thank you so much for leaving suggestions for me. And here we go. We're gonna be doing channel letters now. This is my first time doing a channel letter, and I am also super excited, as you can imagine. I'm just gonna go through what's gonna be covered in this reading. Well, first off, obviously, we're gonna be reading through the entire channeled letter from your soulmate or your twin flame. And next up, I'll be using tarot cards to figure out exactly what they want to tell you and what's next in this connection. And last but not least, we're going to finish off with some oracle cards to see whether your spirit guides or their spirit guides have anything to say to the both of you. So if that sounds good to you, then let's go through each of your options. Option number 1 here corresponds to the dark blue envelope as well as this blue pencil. Option number 2 here corresponds to this white envelope along with this orange pencil. Option number 3 here corresponds to this light green envelope as well as this green pencil. So as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. And as always, I do leave my shuffling process on camera. And if you're not interested in watching me shuffle, you can find the timestamps down below and just click on the timestamps. You'll be fast forwarded to your reading. And if you do want to share your energy with me, you can also click on the corresponding timestamps for the shuffling process for you. So that's all. Let's get right into it. Hey loves! If you have chosen this dark blue envelope along with this blue pencil, then this is going to be the shuffling process for you. Welcome. Let me just put your letter and the pencil to the side and start shuffling right now. So, well, first off, thank you so much for sharing your energy with me. I know that the shuffling process sometimes can be a little bit boring, but I do like keeping it on camera just so that I can have some extra time to calm myself and to ground myself in your energy. So now, let's get into it. For my dear group number 1, what does their soulmate want to tell them? What do my group 1 soulmates want to tell them? Okay, so we have 1. Let's put it right here. Oh, wow. Okay, so let me take all of them. So it seems like your soulmates have a lot to say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 cards. Let me see if I can fit maybe one more. Yeah. All right, let's do one more. One more card, please. Group 1 soulmate. All right, there we go. Okay, I actually feel like this should be this way up. Okay, so that's it. Easy peasy. All right, so now let's go with what's next in this soulmate connection. So Spirit, what is next in the connection between my dear group 1 and their soulmates? What is next in this connection, please, Spirit? All right, so it's taking a minute for the cards to come out. I want to say maybe you have not met your soulmate yet. Maybe you just haven't met them. Maybe you don't know who they are. Okay. Let's see. Here's one. So what is next for my dear group 1 and their soulmate? What is next for my dear group 1 and their soulmates? 1, 2, 3. Let's get 3 more. Oops. All right. Oh, wow. So this one really wanted to pop out. You know what? I actually feel called to just take 5 for this part. So I'm just gonna take 5 cards for the part explaining what is going to happen next. So, all right, let me make sure they're all in frame. We're all good now. Okay. Well, thank you so much for staying here and sharing your energy with me, my dear group number 1. As you can see here, all of your tarot cards are shuffled and laid out. Now let's get right into your reading. Hey, group number 1, if you have chosen the blue pencil along with this dark blue envelope, then this is going to be the reading for you. Welcome. Now let's uncover exactly what your soulmate's message is for you. So I'm just going to read the letter out loud. Hello, my love. How are you? Have you been eating and sleeping well? I know that you're always super busy and chasing after your big goals, and I'll always be here at your back as your cheerleader. But you know what? Sometimes I worry about you so much to the point that I can't sleep. The thought of you fighting for what you dream of by yourself in a faraway place makes me sad and makes me almost want to cry. I am sorry, my love. I wanted to give you more positive messages, but I just can't help myself worrying about you. Would you be laughing at me and calling me silly right now when you read this letter? Well, I hope my messages at least can bring you a little bit of laughter and happiness. I can't wait to see you again. Yours truly, your soulmate. Okay. That was a really, really beautiful letter, and I was getting goosebumps all over as I was reading that letter. I'm getting really, really emotional right now. And if you did stay and watch the shuffling process, then you would know that for the first row of these cards, these are meant to be the messages that your soulmate has for you. And literally, they all flew out across the table like instantly. So that just means your soulmate has a lot to say to you. And now let's just uncover what they have. So first card here, we have the Knight of Swords. Alrighty, fast moving energy. We have the Hanged Man. Okay, that's slow energy. We have the King of Swords in reverse. We have the Emperor in the upright. We have the Fool card in reverse. And last but not least, we have the World card in the upright. Oh my gosh, that is so sweet. Okay, sorry, let me just collect my thoughts for a moment. Well, first off, with the Knight of Swords coming out, this card first jumped out on its own. And I feel like this is representing your soulmate's energy. They are trying to move towards you. And in the letter, we also saw that there were messages about your soulmate being worried about you, saying that you're at a faraway place. So that actually might be the case for a lot of you. It is possible that the two of you are in separation, it is possible that you might know this person. And as I'm saying this, the camera timer just turned to 7:44. So that might be a confirmation for some of you. And I was getting goosebumps all over. So I would say for a group of you, for maybe a large group of you, you already know who this person is, and they are trying to move towards you with this Knight of Swords, because Knight of Swords, that's someone who is very determined about their goals, who is out there to get what they want until eventually they succeed. So that is the type of energy that I am getting from your soulmate. However, we also see that there's this Hanged Man right next to the Knight of Swords. So when I was shuffling, after the Knight of Swords came out, a bunch of cards, so like all 5 of these cards, actually no, all 4 of these cards, they all jumped out together, and then I shuffled again for the last card, so the World came out. And I feel like there's a message within the fact that these 4 cards all jumped out together, and that is just to say that your soulmate has a ton that they want to get off the chest, and yet they can't in the 3D, especially with this Hangman card. This is talking about someone who feels a little bit tied down. And along with the Fool in the reverse, I feel like it almost feels like your soulmate is holding back. They feel like whatever they have to say to you is a little bit silly. And that is the energy I get when I was channeling and writing the letter for you guys as well. It's like they were trying to say something, but they're also trying to make light of it. They're trying to make fun of themselves. But in fact, they actually have something that they seriously want to discuss with you. The fact that they're actually really worried about you. Remember that part where they said they wanted to bring you laughter, they wanted to bring you happiness. I do feel like those are words from the bottom of their hearts. However, it's almost like even when I'm talking right now, I feel really nervous. Like there's nothing for me to be nervous about, and I definitely do think I am channeling through your soulmate's energy. They get nervous in front of you, or they get nervous when they think about you, but not in a bad way. They get nervous because of how much they value you, because of how much they care about you. And you know how, like, when we really care about somebody, when we want to text them, we like double, triple check the text message to make sure that there's no like mistypes, there's no misspelling whatsoever before we hit send. Or sometimes we write a message and then we see that the other person's also writing a message. It says like writing a message, and then you just wait. You want to see what they write before you write back to them. That's the sort of energy I'm getting here. So I would say for a majority of you, you probably at least have a sense of who this person is. And that's very interesting. So if you do have a person in mind where you're like, oh, like I get so freaking nervous when I'm supposed to text them, or it takes them forever to text me back, I don't feel like that's because the other party doesn't have interest in you. I feel like it's because they're literally trying to put their thoughts together, put their thoughts in words, and write to you. That's the kind of feeling that I'm getting. And again, with this King of Swords here in reverse, King of Swords, when it's upright, it reminds me of someone who's extremely intelligent, who uses their intelligence to solve problem. It's very masculine and dominant energy, and it can feel almost a little bit too standoffish. It can almost feel a little bit cold. But when it's reversed in this way, I do feel like this is saying that your soulmate is having a lot of second thoughts when they're coming through to you. And when I was saying that, the camera timer turned to 44 again. So like number 4 might be a significant number. Maybe there's a 4-year age gap, or maybe you've just been seeing 44 everywhere you go. It's an angel number that your soulmates have been trying to use to communicate with you. Or maybe someone's a life path for their multiple there are multiple explanations. You get the gist. But going back to what I was saying about the King of Swords reverse, I feel like this is really about your soulmate kind of at loss of words. They don't know what to say. So if this is indeed a situation where you know each other in the 3D and something might have transpired between the two of you, I definitely think your soulmate wants to come through with an apology, but there is pride involved. When a king is reversed, it reminds me of wounded pride. So I would say that they want to come through, but there's something stopping them. And most likely that someone stopping them is actually themselves, if that makes sense. And then again, speaking of masculine energy, we literally have the Emperor, and that is the masculine like archetype out of the entire 78 cards of tarot. And when you get this card in the upright, you really have someone who's ready to go, who's ready to fight for what they want. Well, at the same time, this is also someone who's ready to protect. And as I was saying that, the camera timer again went to 1444. So if you've been seeing 44, please leave a comment down below. This is just, the synchronicity is like crazy. But another thing that popped out for me was the swords here. You see how there's a sword with the King of Swords. You see how there's a sword with the Emperor. And when I see a sword, I think about fairness. Have you guys seen Game of Thrones? So if you have, there's a scene where Ned Stark was supposed to punish a thief, I think. Like he was supposed to punish someone for having committed a crime. And I remember him saying something before he like chopped off that person's head with his sword. And then later on, he was telling his sons that to carry that sword of justice, there needs to be responsibility. I probably have just butchered that entire scene, but if you've seen it, you probably know what I'm talking about. But when I see this particular Emperor card, it reminds me of that scene. It reminds me of responsibility and justice. So I would also say that your soulmate might be trying to convey to you that they have certain responsibilities that they can't get out of. And that is why they can't run to you right now. They want to as the Knight of Swords. However, when it comes to the King of Swords, it's reversed. So it's like they're still at a younger stage. And by younger, I'm not talking about age. I'm more talking about the progress that they've been making in whatever it is that they're doing. So for example, they are, let's say they're an investment banker, and investment banking is an extremely competitive and tiring industry. It's exhausting. And they want to propose to you when they make it to managing director. But before they can make it to managing director, they have to go through being an analyst, an associate, a vice president, and last but not least, the managing director. So it's kind of like when they're climbing that corporate ladder, they feel like they're almost inadequate when it comes to comparing to you. They see you as someone who's super beautiful, super abundant, super intelligent, you have everything. And in order for them to give you an offer that's fair and justified, they have to embody the energy of this king or the energy of this emperor before they can come forward to you. And that's why we have the Fool card here in reverse, because when the Fool card is in the upright, we see someone ready to dive into a new experience. But when it's reversed, it could literally be taken in a literal sense, like somebody is feeling foolish. They feel like they are being foolish. Whether that's because they feel like they're foolish for thinking that they are beneath you and that they need all of these material wealth to win you over, that might be something they felt like they're being silly about. Otherwise, it could also be that they feel like they're really silly to even have thought about coming forward with an offer to you when they're not ready. Either way, it's possible. And literally, I remember that silly, this word came out in the channeled letter as well. That's a word that I don't usually use, so I would say that's definitely coming from your soulmate. However, I do want to say that at the end, we arrived at the world, and this is the last card of the major arcana. It represents completion, recognition, and also when you look at these two people hugging and kissing and being intimate with each other, it almost gives you a sense of just fulfillment. There's a sense of fulfillment with these two people coming together. And I do feel like your soulmate is trying to tell you that they want this sense of fulfillment with you. They want this Four of Wands, Ten of Cups sort of energy with you. And they're just asking for you to be a little bit more patient with their progress. And that's what I'm seeing in terms of the messages that they have for you, my group number 1. So now I want to move on to the part where we discover what exactly is going to happen next in this connection, even though we've pretty much already touched upon that a lot. So let's get through with the second row of cards. We have the Knight of Cups. Okay, another Knight. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse. We have the World card again. Oh my gosh, what are the odds? We literally used 2 different decks, and that's the reason why I wanted to use 2 different decks, just so that when there are repeating cards coming out, we know that's an emphasis. And then we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. And last but not least, we have the King of Swords in the upright. Look at all the synchronicity. My mind is just blown. Wow. All right, let me take a sip of water and calm myself, because I'm not calm right now. All right, let's take a look. So, with the Knight of Cups, what really caught my eye is this little bird flying out of the cup. So, birds remind me of messengers. There's gonna be a message coming for you, whether that's directly from your soulmate or from somebody who might have some sort of connection with your soulmate, because knights, these are people bearing messages as well. And they are a little bit more mature than pages. So they're not just here to convey a message, they're also here to carry out some form of action. So I would say if this is indeed one of those situations where you already know who your soulmate is, you're in contact with them, I would say with the Knight of Cups, it might be them taking you out, whining and dining you, that sort of energy. And with the Knight of Wands in reverse, Knight of Wands, when it's in the upright, it talks about being resilient, being battle worn, being hurt, yet still holding on. But when it's in reverse, it gives me a sense of relief. It's like something is being released. And I definitely feel like, especially this card came out in conjunction with the Hanged Man. I feel like this is just the end of the wait, where because Night is ending of a cycle as well. So I do feel like there is going to be the end of something, of an inaction sort of period. And then with the World card centering your reading here, and as a repeating card as well, I definitely do think that there is going to be union between you and your soulmate. That is for sure 100%, because the World card literally means union, completion, recognition, fulfillment, all of those nice things. They are all coming for you. And it's possible that you guys might come together as a recognized couple. Like I'm getting power couple vibes, if that's the right term to use. But it's like when people see you, they recognize that you're together. And because part of the World card also could talk about fame and reputation, all that sort of stuff. And I feel like within your social circle, you might be that couple that's super nice to each other and very sweet, that everyone's a little bit jealous of, all that sort of nice stuff. And then we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. I do think that the Ace of Wands in reverse could be talking about a lost opportunity, something that was supposed to be promising yet fizzled out. It's a flame that just flickered, that didn't quite burn the way it should. But what I'm seeing here is that this might be something that you guys are planning on doing together, and yet both of you mutually agreed on pausing that plan or stopping from doing something. And let me try to come up with an example. Like, for example, you guys, after you got together, you're thinking about getting married, and you're getting ready for all the wedding stuff, like inviting guests, booking the venue, deciding on the flowers, all of that sort of nice stuff, right? But then all of a sudden, maybe something happened. Maybe one of your family members had an emergency. Maybe there's a work situation that one of you must take care of, and therefore you must postpone the preparation of the wedding to, say, next month. Because once that's fast energy as well, I don't think this is going to be a really huge delay to whatever you have in plan. I actually feel like this could just be one of those small mishaps that happens that you should be aware of, but you don't have to be wary of it, if that makes sense. And last but not least, we have the Knight of Swords. And we spent a lot of time talking about this Knight of Swords in reverse here. And now that it's in the upright, I think this is really your soulmate embodying that masculine energy that's super intelligent, that's very firm and very grounded and using their intelligence to solve problems in your lives instead of creating problems by overthinking. And that's exactly what I see in terms of what's next in what's going to happen. And well, actually, I did not really want to pry too much and ask for timing. But when I was looking at this King of Swords here, I was like, actually, you know what? I think your soulmate wants to come through and let you know the timing of things. So I'm just gonna randomly cut the deck and pull a card and see what it says. And we have the 10 of Wands in reverse. Again, 10, that's literally the end of a cycle. And with the 10 of Wands in reverse, I would say, like, literally, this could be within 1 month or 10 days even. Because once those are really, really fast moving energy, like I would say, because we are heading into October as well. So that could be it. And then I'm also pretty sure that 10 of Wands corresponds to Sagittarius energy because it's mutable fire. So it is also possible that something might happen in this upcoming Sagittarius season, but that's a little bit further out than October already. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of timing. Now, well, to finish off, I have an oracle deck ready, and I want to shuffle some cards to see whether your guides or your soulmate's spirit guides have any sort of advice or messages for one of you or the both of you. So let's just see. Spirit, what would you like my group one and their soulmates to know? Oops. So we have 1. Let me take another 2. I want to take another 2. Okay, well, there we go. We have our... Okay. All right, wow, look at that. Look at that. When we're talking about power couple. So let's see what we have here. Well, first off, we have emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. So I feel like this message is for those of you who know your soulmates, who might have been already in some sort of relationship with them, but something happened and now you're not talking to each other, maybe there is no contact, etc., etc. I do feel like this is your spirit guides coming through to tell you that taking out that part of resentment, see things clearly, and then make a decision. And second up, we have power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or walk away at any time. And again, I think this is talking about the same situation. If you want to change the situation, you have to make that move. And I do think that your soulmate is actively working on making that move towards you as well. And last but not least, we have forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. And again, I feel like all of these cards, they kind of piece together into the same story. And it's all about moving on from the past. It's all about moving on from that sense of insecurity to a place where you can feel grounded and safe and ready to embrace that power, that energy of the World card of fulfillment. So that's exactly what I see for you, my dear group number 1. Thank you so much for being here and watching my video. If this did resonate, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so that you'll never miss a reading that I upload in the future. I am trying to create a more consistent uploading schedule, so I could really use some recommendations from you guys as well. If you have any reading suggestions, please don't forget to leave a comment down below as well. And I hope everything works out for you and for your soulmate. I'm sending you lots of love, sending your soulmate lots of love. Thank you, to your soulmate, to all of your guides, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye-bye. Hey loves, if you have chosen this orange pencil along with this white envelope, then this is going to be the shuffling process for you. Welcome. Well, first off, I just want to say thank you for sharing your energy with me. I know that the shuffling process can be a little bit boring, but I do like keeping it on camera just so that I can have some extra time to ground myself and to immerse myself in your group's energy. So now, first off, let's see group number 2. What does group number 2 soulmate want to tell them? What does group number 2 soulmate want to tell them? The cards are coming out very neatly. Your soulmate might be a Virgo. That's like very stereotypical, sorry. I don't know where that came from. All right, what else, please? Group 2's soulmate. All right. And I feel like taking this one. Group 2's soulmate. What would you like to have group 2 know? Oops. There we go. And let's do one more. One more card, please. All right, there we go. So are all of them in frame? I think so. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Now for the next part, I'm gonna shuffle some more cards to see what is going to happen next in this soulmate connection. So Spirit, what is going to happen between my dear group number 2 and their soulmates? What is going to happen? Oops. We have 1 and 2. What else? Please, Spirit, what is going to happen between my group number 2 and their soulmates? All right. I want to say that there are certain obstacles between the two of you when it comes to union, because the cards, they're shuffling a little bit more messily, if that's even a word. Okay. And I want to take one more, please, Spirit. Just one more. All right. So that's 5. We have 6 and 5. All right. So we're all good now. Well, thank you so much, my dear group number 2, for sharing your energy with me. As you can see here, your cards are all shuffled and laid out. Now let's get right into your reading. Hello, group number 2. If you have chosen this orange pencil along with this white-ish envelope, then this is going to be the reading for you. Welcome. Now, first off, let's uncover what exactly your soulmate has written for you. Let's see. I'm just going to read the letter out loud. Hello, soulmate. How have you been since we last spoke? Are you still wondering what I would look like in 3D life? I asked you that because, haha, I do too. I wonder about you all the time, and I'm sure you must have felt my energy around you. Sorry if you find it a bit too intrusive, but I just can't help it. I want to see how you're doing, even though we're not together just yet. But please trust me, my dear, our time will come, and it will come soon. When we get together, nothing else will matter, and it will be just you and me, both. The two of us, no one else. Do not worry. Sometimes I can feel you worrying, and when you do, you have this frowning expression that I find really cute. Actually, I find everything about you cute, and I do hope you me too. XOXO, your soulmate. Okay, if there's anybody out there who's a fan of the Gossip Girl, shout out to those fellow fans. XOXO, that was a classic move. But all right, so it seems to me that your soulmate is coming through in a very bubbly, kind of like funny way. And they're like trying to keep things light. Now let's get into the cards and see exactly what they want to let you know. So first off, we have the 7 of Swords. Sneaky. And then we have the 10 of Coins. That's lovely. We have the 8 of Coins. We have the 3 of Swords. We have the Queen of Wands, and last but not least, we have the Page of Cups. Let me just make sure you can see all of your cards clearly. Okay. So, all right. There are a couple of different things going on, and my attention is immediately drawn to this 3 of Swords. I feel like there's some sort of mistrust going on. Along with the 7 of Swords here, there's sneaky energy going on, but it's not malicious. It's almost like look at this shadow right here. Like this person is trying to sneak in, like trying to look at this person right here. And it's this is one of the legendary stories in the guidebook where they explained how they are actually a couple, and she's actually not human being. She's a crane. I think she's a crane. But anyways, so she has been hurting herself in order to help him, but she's told him that no matter what happened, he can't take a look at her when she's taking a shower. I think, yeah, when she's taking a shower or whenever she's doing her thing, like he's not allowed to pry, he's not allowed to look. But curiosity got the best of him and he looked this one time, and that ended up basically having her away from him. She had to go away because he looked at her when he was not supposed to. So when I think about the letter, there is this part where they said, are you wondering what I would look like in 3D? It seems to me that it's possible that you might have had communication in the dream realm, or in the 5D, you might be very close. That's what soulmates are. But it's not time yet. And literally in the letter, they said that our time will come. But now I just feel like this person, he looked at a time when he was not supposed to look. And with the Seven of Swords coming out right at the beginning, there is this sneaky energy. Someone is trying to do something, to do the right thing, but at the wrong time. That's what I'm getting. And with the 10 of coins and the 8 of coins coming out right next to each other, I think, again, this is emphasizing that timing, because when you look at the 10 of coins, you see this happy family with a lot of children hanging out together. And then when you see this 8 of coins, you see this princess. She is making, I think she's making sweaters for her brothers, because her brothers were turned into swans by magic, and she has to make 8 sweaters for all of them so that they can be turned back into human. And I just feel like there are more sweaters to be made, for lack of a better term. So essentially, the gist of that story is that she needed time to complete the work so that she could save her brothers. And I feel like with all of these children as well, it takes time for children to grow up. And it seems to me that there is this sense of urgency. Someone has a sense of urgency that, oh, if I don't do it now, then I would never get the chance to do that. But that's not true. What is actually happening is that by rushing things, you are pushing the thing that you want away from you. And that is essentially the gist of the story for this particular Three of Swords. I'm so sorry, I read the guidebook a long time ago, so I'm probably butchering the entire story. But I think overall, that's the overall arc of the story. Basically, the husband took a look at the wife when he wasn't supposed to look. So there is definitely a sense of curiosity. There's definitely a sense of urgency, and there's pain involved. When she's cutting herself, there is pain. When this princess is crying, there's pain. And the pain is probably from the separation. There is, when we look at all of these cards, we notice that there's no two persons together, where we see a family here with multiple people, and then we see 2 persons here, but they are separated by this door. We don't see 2 persons coming together, so there's no sense of union. And I think that is really frustrating for both you and your soulmate, and perhaps especially you. And when you're watching this video, I want you to know that your soulmate, at least their higher self, is aware of what you're going through, and they're really trying to console you. They're really trying to give you comfort. And as I was saying that, the camera timer turned to 1313, which reduces to 4 and 4. So that could be a confirmation for you. Maybe you are a life past 1 or a life past 3, or maybe your soulmate is a life past 1 or life past 3, or maybe there are multiple ways of interpreting those numbers, but I do feel like the number 13, 1, 3, or number 4 could be important somehow in this connection. But however, we do see that with this trajectory, we eventually end up with the Queen of Wands and the Page of Cups. So the Queen of Wands, this is someone who's very confident in her attractiveness. She's there, unafraid of showing herself off. And this is for me, this is show-stopping Leo energy. this is someone who's not afraid of putting themselves out there. And I feel like your soulmate really wants you to embody this type of energy. And when you are in that energy, that's when you are going to come into union. I know that this is kind of, I don't know, it's just people always say that, oh, you have to love yourself before you love another person. And that's just something that's so old. We've all heard of it, but it is also very true. Like, you must love yourself before you love another person. It is not to say that everybody has to be fully healed to be able to love, but at least there is going to be a healthy level of self-love in order for you to really put that effort into loving another person. And I do think that your soulmate now is trying to tell you that they want to see you as this Queen of Wands, as someone who's fiery, who's very energetic, who's happy, and overall just really confident in their own capabilities. And when that happens, that's when we have the Page of Cups. That's when we have an offer of romance coming from someone. That's when they're gonna come through as this Page of Cups to offer this wine, this bottle for you, this cup of wine for you. It's kind of, I want to say that, like, my throat is closing up, and it almost feels like your soulmate is trying to over-explain the situation to you. They're really trying to get you to understand that there's nothing urgent about the situation. Let it unfold at its natural pace, and then things will work themselves out. That's what I'm sensing for this part of your reading. That's what I'm seeing in terms of what your soulmates want you to know. And now we're going to move on to the second part of this reading, which is to figure out what exactly is going to happen in this connection. And I'm very curious to see if there's any indication in terms of timing. So let's get right into it. We have the Sun card. Oh my gosh. Starting off, and we have the Hierophant. We have the Seven of Coins in reverse. Okay, that's another card that talks about patience, but it's in reverse. We have the Four of Cups. And we have the 10 of Pentacles, or the 10 of Coins. See how we got two 10 of Pentacles here. That's why I love using two different tarot decks, because then when we have repeating cards, we know that those are being placed on emphasis. And with both 10 of Pentacles, we notice how there's a sense of the passage of time, because you need time to grow your garden. You need time for your garden to bloom, for things to harvest. And the 10 of Pentacles, that's all about that harvesting after your hard work. And when there's a Seven of Cups, a Seven of Coins in between and being reversed, I almost feel like there's a sense of uprooting something, and you're uprooting a belief system within you. With this Four of Cups, I think it could be that you're uprooting the belief that nothing is, I don't want to say nothing's good for you, but maybe this is saying that you need to uproot the belief that there's no way you can find your soulmate in your current state of being. Because the Four of Cups sometimes can be talking about an opportunity presenting itself to you, and yet you're so focused on the Three Cups in front of you to the point where you don't see that fourth and better cup offered to you by the universe. And with the Seven of Coins coming out in reverse next to this Four of Cups, I feel like that's the universe way of reminding you that there is that extra cup for you. You just need to stop believing that you only have 3 available. You need to stop believing that you only have what you see. You have so much unseen possibilities available to you. And that's being reinforced by the Sun card as well as the Hierophant card, because the Sun card, this is arguably the happiest card out of the entire 78 cards of a tarot deck. And with the Sun, this is really talking about that childlike wonder, that childlike happiness. And again, with the Queen of Wands here, I feel like this is reiterating that message of you being happy, of you being a state of contentment so that you can attract what exactly you want. And with the Hierophant card here, I want to say like Hierophant sometimes makes me think of marriage, or at least some form of formal commitment. It's a social construct, it's a belief system, and in a sense, I think when we're talking about a soulmate relationship, I almost feel like there is the presence of a soul contract. Like, I don't want to throw out words left and right and just be like very fickle about it, but I do want to say that with the Hierophant card coming out here, there is a certain weight that comes with this soulmate connection. There is a certain seriousness that comes with your soulmate connection. And with the Hierophant, I want to say that it is possible that after you meet with your soulmate, you might be coming into a commitment very, very soon. It might happen in quick succession. And again, with the Seven of Coins in reverse, because when it's upright, it's all about letting your garden grow, like waiting for things to come to fruition. But when it's reversed, I feel like this could be talking about things happening a lot faster, things happening not necessarily in the right order, or not in the right order, but it could be just that you hit it off instantly and you get into a commitment, like almost like, say like 3 weeks in, you're already in a committed relationship. 3 weeks, that's like fast for me, but I'm not sure about you. Maybe for you, it's like 3 days. And then you're in a formal commitment, you're boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, your partners. And you're just really happy together. This is going to be a person who makes you feel super, super happy. With this Sun card here, that's guaranteed for sure. And again, going back to what was mentioned in the letter, your time will come and it's just going to be the two of you. And I feel like that message in itself did remind me of a third-party situation. And I don't want to freak you out. If there's a third-party situation, you are aware. You must have been aware of it already. I don't want to create something that's not there, but it is also possible that if you don't know who your soulmate is, they might be currently in a different commitment with work or with another person or with another belief system, whatever it is. There might be a third-party influence in their life that they need to get away from in order for them to come into union with you. And when I'm saying that, I'm getting goosebumps. So usually when I get goosebumps, that's a sign of confirmation. Like, I take it as a sign of confirmation. So I do feel like for some of you, that might be the case. Especially with the Hierophant here, it could be talking about belief systems as well. Like, you guys might have very different backgrounds. You might be coming from different belief systems. And in order for you guys to completely be together and be happy together, maybe someone would need to make a sacrifice. And that goes back to the Three of Swords, because this is the wife sacrificing herself for the husband. So there could be some form of sacrifice as well. And when we take a look at the Eight of Coins, here again, it's sacrifice. The princess is sacrificing herself. She's hurting herself when she's trying to save her brothers. So I do feel like there might be an element of that in your story with your soulmate as well. So that is what I'm seeing. But eventually, when we get 10 of Coins, that's your be-all, end-all. That is literally the card for a long-lasting marriage, a long-lasting partnership, for a fulfilled family. That's all of those nice things. So with both of these 10 of Coins coming out, if I were you, I wouldn't be too worried. It's easy for me to say this, but I would not be too worried when you've got 2 10 of Coins coming out. There is going to be a legacy. You are meant to be together with your soulmate to create some form of legacy in this world. And that's what I'm seeing here. And last but not least, I want to shuffle an oracle deck and get a couple of cards to see what your spirit guides or your soulmate spirit guides have to say to both of you. So we already have 2 jumping out. And let's see. Can we please get one more? One more, please, Spirit, for my dear group number 2. One more card for my dear group number 2. Oops. All right, there we go. Okay, let's see. So we have balance. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. Definitely. So there requires a balance between the two of you. And again, like, I feel called to point out that Queen of Wands. So in order for there to be balance, you need to put both of yourselves on pedestals. Like, you have to be on the same level as the other person in order for the connection to work. And emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. So I definitely sense that there might be resentment when it comes to this separation, when it comes to waiting. Especially this card falls right above the 7 of Coins in reverse. So there might be a resentment in terms of waiting. But again, I want to say that, as your soulmate said, the time will come. And when it comes, it's just going to be you and them. It's the two of you, no one else. And last but not least, we have my beloved. Though we may be physically apart, spiritually we're always united. For love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. And I don't think I need to explain any more than that. That's just beautiful. All right. Well, so that's all I'm seeing for you, my dear group number 2. Thank you so much for being here with me, for sharing your energy with me. If this did resonate with you, please don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so that you'll never miss a reading that I upload. And I've been trying to come up with a more consistent uploading schedule, so any suggestions or recommendations would be hugely appreciated. Don't forget to leave me a comment if you have a certain reading that you would like to see more of. And I am sending you lots of love. I'm sending your soulmate lots of love. Thank you, to your soulmate, to your spirit guides, to their spirit guides. Thanks to everyone. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye-bye. Hey loves, if you have chosen this green pencil along with this light green envelope, then this is going to be the shuffling process for you. Welcome. Well, first off, I want to thank you for sharing your energy with me. I know that the shuffling process sometimes can be a little bit boring, but I do like keeping it on camera to keep myself focused and to immerse myself in your energy. So now let's get right into it. For my dear group number 3, what does my group number 3 soulmate want them to know? Okay, 1. What else? What does, my group number 3 soulmate want them to know, please, Spirit? What exactly does my group number 3 soulmate want them to know, please, Spirit? I feel like the cards are behaving a little bit strangely. It's almost like they don't want to come out. It's like your soulmates, they're a bit shy. All right, there we go. All 6 of them shuffled and laid out. And then for the next part, I'm going to be shuffling a different tarot deck to get a sense of what's going to happen between the two of you. What's going to happen next in this connection, please, Spirit? What's going to happen next in the connection of my group number 3? What's gonna happen next, please, Spirit, in the soulmate connection for my group number 3? When I'm shuffling, I'm feeling a little bit restless. So someone is in a rush. Let's see, what else? What is going to happen in my group number 3 soulmate connection? Okay. All right, so we're getting 5 cards for this part. Let's see if they're all in frame. They are. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, group number 3, for sharing your energy with me. Now let's get right into your reading. Hello, group number 3. If you have chosen the green pencil along with this light green envelope, then this is going to be the reading for you. Welcome. Now let's first uncover exactly what your soulmate letter is. I'm just going to read this part out loud. Hey dear, I've been waiting for you for a very long time. I was not expecting that we would meet each other, or at least come into contact into each other in such a different way. My 3D self is not a very spiritual person and doesn't really believe in tarot. So this must come as a surprise to him, her, or them if you ever mention you experience to them. But please rest assured, our guides are working behind the scene to bring our 3D selves together, and I promise you that you'll not be disappointed. I know that things have been tough for you for a while, and I know that you really want someone who can give you their shoulders to cry on. But this is part of the learning process that you have to go through yourself, and I will be here watching you and protecting you from afar. I love you so much. Please don't ever doubt that. Yours, your soulmate's higher self. Wow. This is actually the first group where the sign off was not your soulmate, but your soulmate's higher self. So I definitely do think that for my group number 3s, it might just be like what was said in the letter. Your soulmates, they're just not very spiritual, or at least they're not inclined to believe in spiritual powers. And that's why their higher self decided to come through and to give you certain messages. And as I was saying that, the camera timer turned to 5:44. So 44 I've been seeing everywhere, and I'm not sure if that's a sign for any of you guys. If you've been seeing 44 everywhere you go, please do leave a comment down below so that I know, because the number 44 has been popping out throughout the 3 different groups. So anyways, now let's take a look at the messages that your soulmate has for you. We have the 4 of coins in reverse. We have the 7 of swords in the upright. We have the King of coins in the upright. We have the Tower in the upright. We have the Fool card in the reverse, and we have the 5 of cups in the reverse. Okay. So let me just be completely honest. I do think out of the 3 groups, this group has the heaviest energy. And that's not just because your soulmate's higher self decided to intervene and to come in through the letter. It's more that, that's reinforced by the cards as well. So when we see a Tower card coming out in the upright, it feels like a rug has been pulled out from underneath your feet. It's something that's unexpected that's gonna change your entire life. And I feel like you might be going through a Tower moment, and this might be a past energy as well. I don't see it as something that's going to happen to you. I see this more of a something that's already happened, because in the letter, your soulmate's higher self mentioned that you've been going through a tough time, and it's been a while. So whatever this difficulty is, it seems that you have sustained some form of loss. With this 4 of coins in reverse here, this could be talking about financial loss. With the 7 of swords, it could be talking about being lied to or being betrayed by somebody. And that's just not, those are just really tough energies. And I'm really, really sorry, my group number 3, if those are the things that's been in your life. And I'm feeling a little bit emotional right now. Maybe you do need some shoulders to cry on. Maybe you've been working really hard to pull yourself back up, to stand on your own 2 feet. And your soulmate is coming through to let you know that they are aware of that. They're aware of all of those things. And you might feel like you're a fool for believing in the soulmate connection, because there's so little evidence, because there's literally nothing in your life currently that can indicate that your soulmate exists. but your soulmate is coming through to tell you that, hey, I'm here. I'm just a little bit slow, but I'm here. With the King of Coins, I think this is your soulmate's energy. Coins or pentacles, that's the slowest moving suit in tarot. And when we see this King of Coins, this is literally a massive, massive turtle. And turtles are known to be long living, but they're also known to move very slowly. So I would say that your soulmate is really trying to convey to you that they are on their way to you, but it takes time. This is part of the learning process that you have to go through by yourself. This tower moment is meant to be experienced by yourself. It is part of your soul's plan to be here, to experience exactly this moment, and to learn exactly what you are learning right now. And when I was saying that, the camera timer turned to 10:33. So 33 might be a master number or an angel number that's been following you around as well. And again, I know that this is rough because I've had my own tower moments as well. I've recently had a tower moment, and I know that when these moments do happen, they're not nice. They're not easy. And your soulmate also knows that. They're aware of it. And that's why they're coming through. That's why their higher self is actually coming through today to give you encouragement, to give you faith so that you can hang in there, so that you can hang on to the hope that your soulmate is somewhere out there waiting for you. And just like you are, they are waiting for you too. And you must both be your best selves so that you can come together into union. And with the Five of Cups in reverse, Five of Cups upright is like crying over spilled milk. But when it's in reverse, it's talking about the healing process has already begun. Like, there is a healing process that's already started. And that's part of the reason why I felt like the tower moment must have already happened for you. I think right now you might very much be in this reversed Five of Cups energy where you're reassessing, reevaluating what you have left and trying to decide where to move to next. And this could be literally a physical move for some of you. You might be considering moving somewhere, and this is spirit giving you a go. This is spirit giving you a green light. If you have been contemplating moving somewhere, moving on from something, let's say moving on from a person, moving on from a job, moving on from a city, whatever it is that you're trying to move on to, I think this is spirit saying that here's your green light, go for it. Of course, like, take whatever I say with a grain of salt because this is a general reading and it might not apply to every single one of you that's listening to this pile. But I would say that if this does apply to your situation and you've been contemplating your different options, you've been trying to decide whether you want to move on to something else or not, I do think that spirit is saying that you should move on. And perhaps by moving on, you are bringing yourself even closer to where your soulmate currently is. And that's what I'm seeing in terms of the messages from your soulmate to you. And I feel like here in this group, it's not just messages from your soulmate. It's more like messages from your soulmate's higher self and even from the guides. They're all here for you. They're all coming through to give you all of these encouraging messages to let you know that you're not alone. And now let's move on to the second part of the reading, which is where we find out what's going to come next in this connection. So first off, we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. We have the Empress in reverse. We have Strength card in the upright. We have the Hierophant in the upright. And we have the Four of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so definitely I see a new opportunity being offered to you with the Four of Cups being reversed. I think that you are getting out of an energy where you're focused on the cups in front of you, and you are getting into an energy where you can feel more comfortable looking out ahead and see what is being offered to you with this Four of Cups in reverse sort of energy. In one of the previous groups, we also had a Four of Cups, but it was in the upright, so the energy was quite different. And then we also had the Hierophant that came out in the same group before. But again, I feel like here the Hierophant is representing a different energy. It's giving me community vibe, because for me, the Strength card itself, it's soulmate, it's soul best friends. It represents a soul group. And the Hierophant can represent a belief system where people come together to worship the same god or goddess or just higher being, and it's a community. So I definitely feel like with the Strength card and the Hierophant card both coming out together, this is talking about your tribe. This is talking about a community that you can bank on when you're experiencing periods of life where things are very, very difficult. For example, right now, after that tower moment of yours. So I would say in order for this connection to move forward, you need to find your tribe. You need to find that community that you resonate with. You need to find those people that you can actually bank on that are ride or die for you. And when we take a look at the Knight of Swords in reverse as well as the Empress in reverse, these cards are giving me kind of overthinking, overanalyzing, or analysis paralysis sort of energy. Because when the Empress is upright, she is someone who is regal, abundant. She's not afraid of anything. She's there enjoying her kingdom, enjoying her queendom, and just waiting for good things to come to her. But when she's reversed, in this particular case, it's giving me some sort of a desperate energy. Especially this card came out right next to the Knight of Swords in reverse, where the Knight of Swords can literally talk about nightmares. It can talk about overthinking, overanalyzing, that sort of energy. And when it's reversed, I feel like it's more directed towards inwards. It is more like you're self-restricting, you're self-straining, and you're draining yourself from your energies because of how much energy you're spending into thinking about certain things that are not helpful. And you're letting go of your natural abundance. You're letting go of that grounding energy that you naturally have. And therefore, you can no longer represent the Empress energy in the upright, and it's in the reverse. So again, in order for this connection to move forward, I do think that Spirit is telling you to get out of these energies, to release yourself from the Knight of Swords, to really turn it back up, to really up your games and go back to being that beautiful Empress of yours, to really embody that divine feminine energy that's open to receiving. Because right now, I think you're really closed off. maybe that's because of what happened with the Seven of Swords and the reversed Four of Coins. Maybe this has something to do with the loss that you sustained or the betrayal you sustained. And that's why you're not in an open and embracing sort of vibe. And that's totally understandable. And I'm not saying that you should place your trust anywhere that you don't think is the best. You need to place your trust with people that are in your soul tribe. Again, this ties back into the Strengths card and the Hierophant card, because I think both of these cards are encouraging you to go find that tribe of yours, to go find your own community where you can feel safe and grounded and heard, and you can feel like you can be yourself instead of pretending to be someone else. And that's when you can open up. You can be comfortably in your Empress energy and being open to receiving different things from different people and being in that trusting energy. But right now, it seems to me that it's not just environment that's been hindering this process of growth. It's almost like you yourself is trying to stop yourself from opening up, from embodying that beautiful energy. And that is because you have been burned before. An example that I can give is that, let's say you are a part of the LGBTQ plus community and you have been in the closet for a very long time, and finally one day you gather the courage to come out to one of your closest friends, thinking that they would be understanding. However, things did not turn out the way that they should have turned out. Your friend turns out to be homophobic, and they can't deal with the fact that their best friend identifies with the LGBTQ plus community, and they stop being friends with you. And that is obviously just wrong and sad. But things like that do happen in life, and that's why we have to be extra careful where we place our trust or who we place our trust with. And it's totally understandable that you are currently in this reversal energy. But you also have to understand that the dichotomy of the world works like that. There's light and there's darkness. There's kindness and there's also harshness. So after you've experienced a tower moment, what comes next is the hope from the star. And you have to be open to receiving the energy of that star, to receiving the hope from that star, so that you can move on and embrace this connection with your soulmate. Because otherwise, even if your soulmate were ready, they wouldn't be able to get to you because you're not opening up. You are not in a receiving energy, and you are not there to see that there is a cup that the universe is offering to you. You're too focused on the 3 cups that you have right in front of you. And that's in the traditional imagery of the Rider-Waite tarot deck. If you have ever seen one, you see that this person sitting down next to a tree is staring at 3 cups in front of him and contemplating about his next steps without seeing that there's a hand in the air offering a new cup, a better cup to him, because he was too self-absorbed. And your soulmate does not want you to go down that path. They don't want you to go down to that sort of energy, because that's just going to hinder your union. And that's exactly what I see in terms of what's coming up next for you and your soulmate in your connection. And before we go, I want to shuffle an oracle deck and see what your guides or your soulmate's guides have to say to you or your soulmate. So first we have balance. Let's see. Let's get 2 more, please, Spirit. This one dropped onto the floor. We have new beginning. Very fitting. Let's do 1 more. 1 more, please, Spirit. One more card, please, Spirit. Oops. Well, I guess we're taking this one. So we have balance. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. And yeah, I think there's definitely some sort of a wake-up call that your soulmate is trying to give you right here when their higher self is coming through. I think that's been overall the theme of this entire reading for you. And next up, we have new beginning. A new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. And again, after the tower comes the star, the hope. And you must be ready to dive in like a fool, to embrace the hope. And I feel like that's what the universe wants you to do as well. And last but not least, we have don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. And again, I feel like this is talking about you moving on from whatever happened in the past. So again, going back to the messages earlier, if you've been contemplating about moving on, but you've been stopped by guilt, you've been guilt-tripped by other people, then this is the wake-up call that you need to hear right now. Stop doing that to yourself and just move on if you think that's the best option for you. And that's what I'm seeing in terms of Spirit's advice for you and your soulmate connection. So, my dear group number 3, let me give you a big energetic hug. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing your energy with me. I thank you. Thank your soulmate and your spirit guides and their spirit guides. Thank everyone for being here. And if this did resonate with you, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so that you'll never miss a reading that I upload in the future. I do try to keep uploading with a more consistent schedule. So if there's anything you would like to see more of, please don't forget to leave in the comment section your suggestions or recommendations, and I'll definitely take them into considerations. Thank you again, and I hope to see you very soon in the next reading. Bye-bye!